Hello, all of you vaingloriously wonderful people, and welcome back to Timberborn. If you saw that big long streak of beavers going through two ways, it's because they're all coming over here to resume building out some of the elevated first tier of our district. I've gone through and just anywhere that I can just get dirt blocks, I have dirt blocks. I have extended the tubeways out to over here. They also go underneath, and they even connect into over here. Even though there's water in between where there is water, let's do it this way. I've used the levees instead. So I shouldn't flood anything. If I do, that floods all of this storage and all of this storage. And all of this storage. So basically all the storage for this district. While they work on all of this, I want to start thinking about power. Because as it stands, I don't have a way to get power into this district, which that's problematic. Or at least into these upper tiers, I should say. There is power in this district. We have this network over here that's currently only powering that stuff. And then we have the main network that once upon a time between videos I extended across the backside here, and it runs down to here, and it actually has a termination point somewhere down here. It's tunneled. It's down there, trust me. And the goal is that we're eventually going to have some industry here, and maybe today, because I realized that we need to get a lot of this stuff out of the way before we can really start building up. Namely, the large smelter's kind of in the way. Everything else, I think, will be fine, except for, you know, like some of the builders' huts, which I don't even know why those are still there. But there is some stuff over here I need to move to get it out of the way so that I can do this, but over here. So we may start making that power connection, and then we can maybe just bring it underground and tap into here. That's the hope anyway, because that runs all the way down to the ground, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, it runs all the way down to the ground. So, while they are working on all of that, what I want to do is bring in the power, like right back here. Now I'm going to go just as far as that'll let me get to 25. And then I want to, and no, I know they can't build it right now. Don't worry, we'll get there. I want to come down to that level because I need to see, yeah, that's what I was afraid of, is that the bad water is right there. But that's okay, because what we can do is go down. Yeah, they gotta go under it. So we'll go down to, and then we'll come back across, and then we'll come back up those two and run out right there and connect right there. Now you're thinking, well, that's great. How are they going to get there? Well, we're going to use some tubeways. Since they can build just outside of a tubeway, I'm just going to run the tubeway alongside this, and it'll be fine. But I need to find out where I can do that from over here, because, again, the bad tide is an issue to think about. So I don't want to go this level. So I'm going to put like this one here and then go down one. There we go. And then back up and get rid of that. That way I just know where my safe level is here. So yeah, okay, we should be safe to just run across right here. Obviously, it can't go through that. That is an immovable object. But what we can do is come across here, and then that's where this can then come across this way over here like that. So now that I have those in, and that we should be safe. Pretty sure we'll be safe. I'm not 100% confident on that. So that will let them build. Wait, did I do? I did tubeways where I meant to do power, didn't I? The power's way up there. Okay, so I need the tubeway to come up. Aha. Okay, I'm going to pause this because, yeah, I need the tubeway to come up so that I'm next to these power shafts. So let's figure that out real quick. I need it to be on this side. Otherwise, it won't work. Because I need to be able to get it connected without them blocking each other. Okay. So that'll get me through there, and then I can go there. And there, I think? Question mark? No, I'm not sure which two ways and which tunnels. I think that's connected. I guess we'll find out. So I don't see anything that looks like it's going to interfere with the bad tide. I'm just going to keep double checking here a few times. So this is two-way, that's power. And I don't see a hole anywhere in any of that. So now I need to come down here from like this one and go down and then, okay, cool. So that's that one right there. So maybe that is like the answer, is let them come across and then go up for this bit, and then this is all just down on this level, and then they can go back up. You know what? It's fine. It'll be just fine. Oh yeah. Okay. So this should be able to start getting constructed in the morning. The nice thing is we can also see over to there. But I want all of this to be my priority. I'm not so much worried about the platforms right now, and all of that. Or not the platforms, but the dirt blocks and all of that. It's just not my priority at the moment. This is. So we are going to prioritize all of this. So I want to get power over to this area so that I can start moving a few things over here that will facilitate all of this. Oh my gosh, frame rate, come on. What was that all? It's all these water wheels. Yeah, it's all these water wheels. Let's get them off the screen. There we go. So cool. Let's go to this level, and we're gonna kind of have to like look at it from an odd angle, like that. That should work. Yeah, that should work. We can see them working out there somewhat, and then we should be able to start seeing some activity over here as well. I would think, anyway. Let's see. Are we starting to get any two-boy action going here? It looks like. Yes, cool. It is going to take a while. I could speed that up a bit, though, before we do the montage. Let's put in the temporary two-way station right there. That way they can work on this for both ends. And then we will tap in to this power, which is currently coming off of in here. We can tell that because it's 52,000. So yeah, that's gonna tap off of that, and then eventually we'll make a connection over to here. But this is the priority at the moment. Oh, we could just watch it from out here, and then that would hide the. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. We can kind of watch from out here. Let's actually. There, how's that? I like that. Let's watch from out here. We can see all that. We can see a little bit of what's happening. Yeah, I wanna see underground. Okay. I'm being indecisive. It's 12 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, early Sunday morning. I can be decisive if I want to be. There. That's a good view. I'm leaving it, and let's enjoy a montage. So cool, they've got this upper bit done. There we go. I thought I hit the button. And they've actually got it all done. And I don't see any bad water leaking anywhere, so we're good. Awesome. So yeah, that's all done. Now what I need to do is, since this is here, I can now bring that power up and down. as I need to, and we do need to. We need to have it come down to this level. One more. There we go. We need to have it here as well. Excuse me as I hiccup. So what I want to do is kind of just the same idea. I want to tunnel to like here and then go up. And then the idea is that in these back sections is where I'm going to have the machinery that processes all this different stuff. And then where we don't need to process things, we can use it for crops, since the farmhouses can reach. But for the most part, that's going to be what's happening there. So let's get the... freaking... I don't know why this mouse deselects things. It does it in every game I play. It's not just Timberborn. Oh, okay. Okay. Frame rate. Cooperate. So we need to go up through here until we get to there. Cool. And then we need to go down with tubeways so that they can get this section that they cannot currently reach. So we don't need to go there. We just need to go to there. Right? Maybe. I'll do one more just in case. Cool. So let's go check on their progress over here, and it looks like they're almost done. They haven't... It's too far from a district path, huh? Yeah, I guess it is. I can resolve that. That's easy enough to fix. What we can do is just temporarily throw in a couple ladders. And then get down there. And that should be everything that they can get in. I didn't try doing any extra overhangs. Like, I can get like a little one, you know, one there. And there's probably like a bunch of little single ones I can do all throughout. But I'm not too terribly worried about it. Because we're then going to switch gears and finish this out. But I'm going to let them get this section finished real quick. And then we're going to build a couple farmhouses, and maybe just reorient our farmhouses entirely. And then we'll start working on some of the other industry that we need to relocate today. So I'm just going to let them finish up here, and we'll jump cut to when that's done. Cool, so they just got the last little bit in, and I'm going to come down to this level. We don't actually have to build any more farmhouses. These reach where I need them to, which is these 2 squares. Because remember, we're not building anything... Here, these trees are all eventually going to go away. Speaking of, we are going to get rid of all of these trees right here, as well as anybody affiliated with them. Actually, nah, you know what? We'll go ahead and get rid of that gatherer as well. You can go. So, I want to move the radishes over. I also just realized I did not... build my dirt blocks up here, so let's see about doing that real quick. I think they're not gonna be able to reach it though. Okay, pause for just a moment, because what I can do is blast these and then have them build it back up. So to there, actually to right there. Cool. And then I can have them... I don't think they'll be able to reach through the existing dirt blocks. So I'm going to have to remove some and then put them back. A little unfortunate, but it's fine. Let me get these situated real quick. Okay, so there's just one more spot I need to blast right there. Cool. And the reason I'm doing that is because I want to ensure that when I plant the crops that I'm not going over an area that I need a thing to be. So we're going to move radishes up, and radishes may not be the final crop that winds up here. It could very well be something else. Okay, this gets tricky. There we go. That will let them get those planted, and then we can get rid of the ones that are back here. So I want 2 sections of radishes. Get rid of these as radishes, and then back here I want to get rid of all of that. to save room for industry, we'll probably replant. So that's a lot for them to tear up. But then once they get that done, we'll move the tomatoes over to here. Not too terribly worried about missing some apples because they can go across and steal apples from over here pretty easily. We have a couple different beavers that can reach them, and they have been stealing apples from the other district this whole time. You may not have noticed it though. So while they do that, I'm going to wait for this dynamite to get in so I can blast that so that we can then basically rebuild it, but whatever, it's fine. And speaking of the dynamite, there we go. So I'm just going to blast these out. And then in the morning, they should be able to come over here and finish these columns. I'm not going to put the last block. Well, actually, if I do, it'll be one of those situations where it's like, hey, we're waiting on the one below to be built. So I think, question mark, that will be safe. Oh, look, I can get a couple extra little bits in here. So we'll do that once they get these built, which shouldn't take but a moment. Cool, so they're getting some of these built, so I can probably start getting a few more overhangs in here. Like I can get some there. I can't get one there yet. I can get these guys in. So right there's the only place I can't get any overhangs. Awesome. So let's go back down, get our tomatoes replanted, which is here. And we'll just go right like that, let them work on that. And then I want to look here and see, I might want to bring this down one more so that I can bring the power into the ground. Yeah, I do want to do that. So I'm pretty certain they'll be able to reach this one. I can't really see if they can or not. Yeah, they can reach that one. And then we can just run... I can't because there's... Okay, never mind. Gonna have to deal with it. There's not... Because the storage is right there, there's nothing for a tunnel to go into. So, yeah. Law of unintended consequences. It's okay. It'll be fine. So... That means what I want to do, and the reason I've put the power in is I want to like get rid of these presses. They're probably not all going to live over there, though I guess they probably could. But I want to get rid of the presses that are here, as well as any other food processing that's happening down here. That's a kiln. I think that's the only... Yeah, just... So I've got tomato juice, apple juice, apple juice, apple juice, apple juice, tomato juice. Wow, that's a lot. That is a lot of each of those. And the apple juice will probably wind up being on a different level eventually, but for now, we will place it down here. So let's see what our best placement is going to be here. So I didn't count. I just looked. So there's 5 of each, right? Yeah. Cool. So let's see what we can do. Hello. Thank you. Let's see what we can do to get some presses in here. It doesn't really matter what side the door's on, but let's see if we can't get some cool symmetry going here. So they give me 4. And then if I put another one here, that'll get the power connected. Like that. But then how in the world do I get the power across the other side? I don't know. I really don't know. Mark all of these as apple juice. I guess we can just go up and over since I can't go under. Over is really the only thing I can do because... Oh wait, I can go under here? What? Must be a dirt block under there. You know what? I'll take it. If it's going to let me do it, I will absolutely take it. But the problem is I don't think... No, I can do it. So wait, why... I don't know. But that's not going to work because it will not allow a good connection. So it's okay. We'll just go over. I mean, we've kind of got, you know, a little dead space right here anyway. So we'll just go up and over. So we will do... nope, wrong one. I want that built, and it's one log, so we're going to pause. I want vertical power shaft, and a platform. And then we will go up one and across. There we go. Cool. Awesome. And then I should... Oh, this is in the way. You know, we may as well take advantage of this space that's right here. I can get in 1, 2, 3, 4 more. And then we just need like one more, like right here. Yeah, that works for me. Cool. And then these will be the tomato juice. We don't have beets yet. We don't have corn yet. So I can't really do any of these other ones. We will eventually have them all over here. It's just... This is a process. A very long, drawn-out process. So they'll get those built so we can come over here and decommission all of that. I don't know if that's gonna... Yeah, that took my power away from something. From my water pumps. And those are kind of important. So I need to get those back in. Let's see here. Where can I think what I can do... So I can't go to there because it will get into the water. But I think what I could do is clean it up a little bit. By bringing it like here. And then over and then up. Jeez. So convoluted. So let's go up so I can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to leave this paused to be sure this is what I really want to do. And then I can get rid of that. And then we can shorten this. I know it's going to, you know, require building more than what I already had there, but it's okay. In fact, I can get this all done with just like one span now. So that's 5. Yep. I know that was completely unnecessary to rebuild all of that, but it makes me happy. So cool. That'll get... I think that'll get that reconnected. Yeah, well, you know what, though? We're not really going to need power over here. Once all of this moves to back there, it's only going to be back here that we really need power. And then we could maybe run power shafts this way through the hill. I don't know. You know what? One step at a time. We're just going to get this taken care of and go from there. So I am going to demolish that and replace it with a dirt block. That was loud. And then for the next thing that I want to do for moving some of this industry, what do you mean you don't have power? You should totally have power. Oh, you're not connected to a path. Sorry. There you go. So those guys will get up and running, and we're running with the same number of beavers. So now I just need to find my power over here. I think it's like right here. Yeah, it's right there. So I need to clear some trees out of here. So those can all go, and maybe even a few more. We'll see. Let me get them to get all those out of there, and then we'll see what type of space we're working with. Because we need to take a look at what we're going to do with the smelter here. And as I did it, we're good. So I don't know. I still haven't decided if I'm going to do bots in this build. But I want to have the option to, which is going to require a lot of iron blocks or steel blocks or whatever these guys make. What do you make? Metal blocks. One of these could put out 2 per hour. It uses 3 scrap every hour and a half. Our mine makes 10, roughly the same. It's a little bit longer, but we'll say that this mine can support 3 smelters, which that's never going to be enough. 6 an hour, that's just never going to be enough. However, what I did between videos Is that an industrial two-way crossing? The only thing being traded, and actually, I had turned. Oh, it's because I changed districts. You import nothing. It's because the districts changed. I forgot all about that. It's okay. And then we're going to go to import nothing. The only thing they should be importing is scrap metal. That's the only thing I really want to have imported. And it's fine that there's other stuff here. There's storage for it, so it'll be okay. I think 2 workers will be enough for all of that, since it's just scrap metal. At least I hope. So with that being said, that means we now have a second mine, so I can support 6, maybe even 7 of the yeah, that word that my brain just refused to smelter. There it is. Speaking of, how big are these? Where are these going to go? So it'll be almost there to the power. So 1, 2, 3. This is perfect. We'll do 6. We'll get rid of this guy right here. And then we will bring in 3 more on this side. I believe there's room. There's not room. Or really? Really? You know what? We don't need this path. It's not doing anything for us. However, before I let them go too far, I do need to connect that. Awesome. And then we'll probably just come off this way, since we won't need this path either, for getting our power over to here. I think that'll be a good shout. So we'll let them get started on that. I'm going to prioritize that power shaft since it's back there, and will eventually be blocked by what we're about to do. So there we go. That's all 6. I believe, yeah, the scrap metal is there. Then they're close to a tube-way station. I could always add another tube-way station in somewhere back here for these guys to be able to get closer to storing their blocks. They don't have far to go, but that might not be a bad idea to do one kind of like right here in the middle. Like, I don't know, there. Yeah, it's probably not a bad idea, honestly. So we will let that tree get knocked out, and then we'll look about getting a tube-way in there. It looks like they're not gonna. Oh, they did. Just as I said, it looks like they're not gonna. They did. So, tube-way tunnel first, so I can then trace that down, and then we'll get a tube-way station, and then we'll switch back to tube-way tunnel and just see where we need to go to get this connected. Be careful, because there is water nearby. So there, and then I should just be able to go like right like that, and that'll get them connected to the tube-way network, and they can go down and around. And wow, that's got all of our smelters in. Cool. So we can decommission that. So we're getting there. I don't know that I really need to even worry about any of these builders' huts, because we have so many elsewhere. The only other thing that's like here is explosives, and we could probably relocate this up to where the bad water is. I mean, I don't see why that would be a bad idea at all. I could get a couple of them in here if I blast some. I think that's... Whoa, come back. I think that's what I'm going to do, is I could just get right here. That's under a train, isn't it? Yeah, it's one of these explosives, actually. I can get one right there, and then I can bring power in as tunnels. So I'm going to do that first. Maybe. Everything's being very laggy. So we'll go right like that. So it'll have power. I don't know that I need more than one, honestly, but I'm going to build 2. Because why not, I guess? But I've got to make room for it, which means we've got to do a bit more blasting here, which means I got to get them up as well to be able to blast some of this out, because tunneling it isn't going to be enough. I'm going to start by tunneling. Actually, no. You know what? I'm just going to get him up there because that's... yeah, we should be fine to just get him up there and blast. So, let's do a temporary ladder like that to get them up here. And then I think they'll be able to reach across, maybe not. So that needs to come down by 3. I think it's 3. No, it needs to come down by 4. So we'll start with the 3. Oh, I should just build the ladder right there, shouldn't I? Yeah, that would have been smarter. Whatever. Or no, I do need to get rid of this up here too. So I guess either way. Yeah, I changed my mind. Stop building that. That was dumb placement on my part. Come on. I was thinking I needed to blast all this too, but I don't. Will you please just go away? I need to blast that down by 2. So if I just do ladders right here. And I don't even think I need a path, but I'm going to give them one anyway. And then once you get that out, we can get the path in there. And that will be good to go. So, did I have 2 explosives factories? I had 2 explosives factories already. Okay. So that'll get rid of that. And then I'm just going to get rid of these builders' huts. We don't need them. And I have kilns over here now, so I don't need this guy. Get rid of the builder's hut. Ooh, that was weird. And we'll get rid of that for the time being. And then the trees and all that will still be down on this end. I just don't know how many and where and all that just yet. So the only thing that's still in the way are the gear workshops and the large lumber mills, which we can deal with that kind of like back here in this section. Though, once again, I have to figure out power and how we're going to get that then down, because we have our tunnel or our storage just underneath here. So it may be the same type of thing. We may shift this stuff over into this corner. I guess it doesn't really matter which corner it's in, does it? Either way, we're going to have a way for them to build or send this power down. So, whatever. So, how are we doing on getting this repowered? For some reason, it's not. Where did I miss a connection here? So this just is not connected to a power network at all. I thought it would still be connected. Oh, because that was being conducted. Oh, yeah. That was coming through over there. So, since we're moving all this stuff, I'm good on planks and gears right now. I'm just going to get rid of this. We're going to get rid of all of this legacy power network that we had. And we're just going to redo power over here. We're just gonna do it. We're going to bite the bullet, and we're going to make this work better, which means we don't need any of that anymore. This can all go away because these can get connected, or these are connected back here, so I don't need any of this. See, deleted all that. These are still powered because I ran that back in that way, so that would be a connection then down to here, which will eventually get us to over to there. So I also need to come over here and delete a few things, and then we'll fill in all these terrain blocks, and then we'll figure out a different way to get these water pumps powered in a moment. So this stuff we built earlier is just not necessary at this present time. Here, this will be easier. Get rid of that whole thing. There we go. And then blast that out of here, and one more. That's a lot of debris I've made. Hello. Delete. Thank you. Cool. Let's get some dirt blocks in. We'll go that way, and then we'll go that way, and then we'll go that way. because why not just do it the weirdest way possible? And then across. I'm going to see one that I missed. And then here, we will fill all of this in. What is this? A tubeway. I don't know, because I can't see through the rubble. That is just a platform. I think there's a tubeway underneath there. The nice thing is, this is also going to eliminate any risk of flooding for things that are underneath. Because we're going to be eliminating this whole situation with the water flowing through the power shafts. So cool. Run some paths along all this where those need to go. And there, well, they got a lot of that done already. And, oh, and back here. Awesome. So we don't need this pathway anymore. And then we don't need this power network right here anymore either. Where does it go? Hello. Thank you. So it is supporting one building. That's okay. We can use a hospital or a medical bed. I keep calling them hospitals. I don't know why I keep calling them hospitals. I just do. So there. I'm going to let them get all that in, which they're probably almost done. Yeah, they're getting there. And then we're going to figure out how to get power to this end. Okay, so for our water pumps, the solution is fairly simple. We just need to come in with some vertical power shafts that basically follow to here. But then we have a conflict somewhere. What is our conflict? I don't know. Oh, it's because there's not actual... It's alright. We'll just go there. We needed to go up eventually anyway, so that we can then... Wait, yeah, right there. That's where I need to go. Cool. So then we will put this here. We will put power shaft, a vertical power shaft, a vertical power shaft, and a regular power shaft. Actually, we didn't need that one down on the water. We just need a platform there. There we go. And vertical. And that should get it all connected. I just don't think they can build one back here. The one in the corner. I'm not 100% certain. Up. There we go. Oh, no, they can. Yeah, they got it. All right, cool. So that is all hooked up that way. That will get that back in. But I can't then just go this way to bring power in. I mean, I could. I just don't want to. I want to do something a little bit better. But I don't know exactly what that's going to look like. I suppose what it could look like would be just coming like straight down and just dropping in there. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea at all. Because I don't need power there. I just need it to come down. And then that would let me tap in no matter where I am. So, we can... I don't know. Will this even work? I don't think this will work. What I need to do is blast first. Because they're not going to be able to tunnel down. They'll be able to get like the first one, but then nothing else. And then the same thing at the bottom. They'll be able to do like the first one and then nothing else. But they can walk over here. And they've got a two-way station right there. So it won't be too much of a trip to get over here. Yeah, I like this idea. And then to connect it, man, I really don't want to lose my path though. So we may like bring it down and stack it where this tree is. Just because I'd like to keep the path back there. So let's get this going. Man, there's so much debris everywhere. And I never finished this. We will, though. Don't worry. This is going to get finished today. So cool. That's all blasted out. So then I can just refill it with these. And they will be able to just reach down and drop these in. And that will get power to this end. So the only remaining piece of the puzzle is to get the 2 power networks connected. And for that, I just want to check one thing real quick. So this can only be built on the ground, and I want these to be here. So I'm pretty certain that this is contaminated. It's not. Well, I'm surprised. Okay. I really thought this would all be contaminated because of the bad water inside of there. Is it really not? None of it? No. It's fine. Cool. Awesome. So, if that's the case, what we can do then is be sure... Oop, I've paused by hitting space. I was trying to hit Alt. Is bring this down. I'm fairly certain this is all... Yeah, this will all be safe. We're not anywhere near. I mean, we're near, but we're not in danger of blasting through here. So I just need to make a tunnel there, and then we're just gonna come under this path. I can't go there though. Oh yeah, that's right. There is a channel underneath there, which means that will flood. Okay, that won't work. Boy, I thought this was gonna be easy. Was I ever wrong? Okay, it's fine. We will come up with a different plan. So that channel runs all the way back there. And I don't have the levees for these, the powered levees. So let me think for a minute here how we can go like from over here to over here simply without just going above ground. So I've deleted all of these contamination barriers. So I think the solution is to come back this way. Back here, we've already got a section where they can't reach, and then go through here and connect it over that way. And then it's just out of the way, and then it can be above ground right here, and it's not a big deal. It's just not. So that's what I'm gonna do. I think it's the simplest solution, instead of having to do all kinds of weird things with tunnels. I mean, we still have to do some things with tunnels here, but not a great deal. And we'll just plug in right there. We'll get rid of these 2 trees, and then I'm going to make a double wide tunnel through here so that they can actually reach to place everything. So we're just going to go through like this, get that done. And I'm really surprised I don't need those contamination barriers. I really thought I would. I really thought I would. And then this is going to get our 2 power networks connected, which has been the goal all along, is to have shared power between the 2 districts. So it's going to be good. So I'm going to let them get this built real quick, and I guess we can watch just a little bit of quick tunnelage and things like that. We'll slow things back down. I figured since we were already doing a bit of a sped up 1000% building segment, we would just go ahead and let them get all this built as well. So that has tier 1 on this half of the district built. I mean, obviously it's not doing anything yet, but it will. There will be a purpose to all of this in time. I also built out new industry. We have 8 actually of the lumber mill, and then 4 gear workshops. Looks like we're probably a little understaffed at the moment. No, it's the other district that's really, you guys. Okay. Besides, all right, we've got quite a few beavers to spare. But I figured, again, if we are going to do bots, one of each of these wasn't going to cut it, which is what we originally had somewhere back here in all of this mess. Speaking of this mess, they've picked up everything they could pick up for the rubble, so let's just help them out. Get rid of all of that and all of this up here where we tore down the power. I thought I was holding shift. I was holding caps lock. And we'll grab all of that. And I think that's all the debris. Nope, there's some more back here. So I'll just do a big sweep there. That didn't get any of it. There, I think we have it all. And then there's a little bit up here as well. So we'll get rid of this rubble. And I believe that should now be everything cleared. There might be some more here and there. Yeah, there is some more back here. I just like it to be gone. If they can't pick it up, and they've had ample opportunity to, then there's no need for it to be there. So cool. I did reorient the two-way stations back here. They were in like over there. So I did basically the same thing that I did on the other end. I built some platforms underground to accommodate them to be able to get up and down through there. Since they're back there, there was no two-way station to jump on. I could have just put a two-way station in and like gotten rid of the decorations, but I like the decorations. So today we've accomplished quite a bit. We finished off this level, but before we did that, we got power over to here. We rebuilt all of our metal blocks. That allowed us to connect our two power grids together. So now we've got a combined output of almost 69,000 power. That was not intentional. That's just the first time I've looked at it. Okay, yeah, I'm a child. We got some more industry replaced, which this will probably change a little bit. I'll probably do this again here once we get all of this stuff up on the next level. Speaking of, next time I believe we will begin with just a quick, like 2 or 3 minutes, maybe 5 minutes of getting the next tier of the aqueduct in all around. That way I can see where the housing situation is going to go, because I don't like this big tower block. Plus, I would like to be able to start planning out some recreation and some stuff like that, and I'd like to have the housing finalized so that I know what type of space I have in the middle and all of that good stuff. But we're going to leave it here for now. I'm really pleased with the progress we're making. It's slow. I always knew it was going to be slow because we're placing a ton of dirt blocks and it's up in the air. But we're getting there, and I think I found some good, efficient ways to make things happen without just waiting around. You saw that I did like this in phases. Did this half, and then let them do the back half after they got this done. That way nothing was waiting on stuff, and I didn't have any overhangs that didn't have the one behind it that it needed, and it just worked out really, really well. So I hope you enjoyed this one. I definitely did. I had a lot of fun building this. But until next time, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.